Harms and amazing Kelly Kennedy. Me, VJ. So everyone, hi. This is episode number 54.
Hi.
We are trying to bring new content, new value, new experiences week after week. This week I want to get started with something, folks. I mean, I heard Tony Robbins speak with Stephen Bartlett on the Diary of a CEO. Something profound that he shared was about like owning it, actually. So how,
Mm.
how how do you grow your net worth? How do you grow your net value overall? So he brought this example of an iPhone. Imagine the iPhone launched in '06 or '07, whenever Jobs was there, and like the latest iPhone I found out, I was not tracking it. It's the latest iPhone 17 or something. I could be wrong. But imagine you had a version of each of those iPhones at your pocket, at your home, right? So it is fascinating to hear because like the overall cost of owning all of these phones, let's say it's 22 to $25,000 roughly, give or take. And he mentioned like had you invested the same amount, the $25,000 on an Apple stock as an owner of a shareholder of the company, you might have actually made 350,000 plus, right? So that's something I think I was explaining this to my son yesterday. I think a lot more people need to
I
hear this because in terms of like where are you investing your time and money?
I actually read
And you,
that.
yeah,
Dude, it was alarming actually. If you
right,
looked at investing the same amount of money, it
yeah,
was kind of like a Warren Buffett touch, right? If
right,
if if you went back and I actually brought it up with my wife because I was like, this is incredible, actually. In really a short time. Right? Like
right.
it's not like, a few decades or anything like that. Yeah, yeah, great topic. Well, actually, I don't know what topic you're talking about, but great intro. Um, but how do you want to spin that into a topic?
It's a ROI, I think, in terms of like
Ah,
so how much ROI are you putting it? What are you investing? I mean, if we translate it back to our day to day, where are you investing your time to get
yeah,
your
yeah.
maximum ROI? Whether your time or dollars. So how do you say it? Are you investing on an Apple iPhone? I like the Apple iPhone. I had it. No worries. But are you also a business owner as a shareholder of the company? So just came to my mind. I wanted to share it.
So you don't have an Apple phone right now
I
because you're the Apple King. I don't know how this works. You
I
just
have
got
an
Kelly
Android
on.
phone and a MacBook. So
Holy, that's like, oof, that's blasphemy. I hate to tell you. Like I don't even know how that works. You just got Kelly onto Mac, and then you're out there with something else.
I'm on Mac. Yeah, I'm on
I
Mac.
know.
The Apple and I mean the two things like people are quarrel about all the time online. Apple is better, Samsung is better,
Uh,
Android is better. Same with
yeah,
Windows and
that's
thing.
true.
I don't think what works for you, you should go ahead and use it for anyone listening.
That's right.
That,
And you
that
know what?
that's
I
what
think
that's what I think.
different businesses have different applications for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, that's cool. That was a great article I read as well. I don't know where it came up, but it was on the based on that ROI, and I love talking about ROI because that's really all we have, right? Like whether
Yeah.
it's time or finances, whatever it is what are we getting out of what we're putting in? And if we're not getting anything out of it, what are we doing, right? What are we doing it for? And I'm not saying like I'm a little tired of the grind 10x the
Right.
it's not what you're doing from 9 to 5. It's what you're doing from 5 to 9. All that stuff or whatever. Yeah, we all get it. But I think you can maximize. Not to go back to the 4-hour work week type thing, but the
Right.
methodology of are we maximizing the minutes in our hour, basically. Right. Kelly and
Right.
I actually on our call this morning, we talked a little bit about that, where we're putting our time in. And maybe I'll use an example. A few years back, somebody had asked me if I wanted to partner on a coaching consulting business. And I said, well, tell
Mhm.
me more. And as we got into it, he said, you know what? I've got 40 clients, something like that. I bill them $1,000 a month or whatever for 1 hour a week. And I said, oh, so you have a full-time job? And he said, well, no, I have all this freedom or whatever. So, well, you just told me that 1 hour a week per client, 40 hours. And that's only when I'm meeting with Kelly or with VJ. That's not my preparation time. That's not my time. I go back and I,
or the
I come
reports.
back with, yeah, the reports and whatever I'm working with. So I said, maybe that's doubling it. So now you're 80 hours a week, right? Like I'm not signing up for that. And then he wanted me to be a minority partner, like do all the work and get no money. So my ROI was 0.
I
but
I hear that story and I just think, my God, I can't imagine meeting with 40 people a week.
can you imagine? And you know what? And saying how much freedom you have, because it's only 1 hour per client,
Yes.
right? And Kelly, I remember somebody on when you had a Q&A, I think it was on the BDP Q&A, and I think they said something like they have 3,000 clients or something in their in their CRM.
Yeah.
And you were like, so how effective are you? Oh, pretty good. No, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Right?
I think that was actually for account management. If I look
Is that
back
what it
and
was?
think about it,
Yeah.
they were managing like 3,000 accounts, and I'm just thinking like, I could probably manage like 15. Well,
Yeah.
How are you doing this?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty crazy.
You know, there's a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing a lot of work and going nowhere.
Right.
And I think maybe
Yeah.
that's maybe what VJ is looking at with regards to ROI here. I think what he's talking about is like, if you're spending a lot of effort on something, where is it taking you?
Mm.
And I would make the argument that like we don't always know, and that's fine. That's fine. But I can take a pretty good guess that the effort that I'm putting into the business development podcast, to Capital Business Development, to Catalyst Club, even though I can't see what a year down the line from today looks like, and we were talking about that today, where my show today was talking about the last 3 years of podcasting and how every year it changes. And every year I'm upgrading, I'm learning new things, I'm realizing how little I actually know. I think that's the annoying part, is the further I go down any path, entrepreneurship, podcasting, coaching, running communities, the more I realize, holy shit, I know nothing. You always think you know the most in the very beginning, and then it's like you just get humbled year over year over year as time goes on to how little you actually know about anything.
You know where I think the growth is, though, is that actually seeing it.
Yeah.
Right. Just imagine if you got stuck in this loop of thinking you know it all. Right. And I've heard people, I've, clicked into a podcast or some type of video, and somebody telling me, they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And they actually think it. Right. They're not growing. They're not learning. Right. They're so busy telling you how great they are, or how they built, 30, 40 businesses or whatever it is. And I'm thinking, holy crap, like you built 30 businesses. Like, how old are you? 1,000? Like how, like honestly, how effective could you be? And let's bring it to today's topic. What's your ROI on that? Like if you were to peel back the onion skin, I bet you they'd say, well, 20 out of 30 aren't operating right now. Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's a great start. So you burned away a lot of time and effort for nothing. Or I shouldn't say for nothing. You got some experience. But what if you took that down into bite-sized chunks and really made it taste good, right? Like really went after it, really honed in on your expertise and be excellent at what you do, and do that, right? Like the ROI will be exponential.
Well, and I think like if I look at podcasting, and I like using podcasting as an example because I started from nothing, knowing nothing. And the further I kind of go down, it's like every year I upgrade. So like the very first year I just recorded stuff and put it out. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, my voice sounds horrible. I'm not doing anything. Oh, well, now I need to learn a little bit of EQ, a little bit of compression. And that was great. But then my room was echoey. And I'm like, how the heck do I fix this? How do I take the echo out of this? And then I learned about de-reverb, and I started utilizing de-reverb plugins. And they worked really well for like the situation I was in. And then when we moved to the new house, I realized, well, I could de-reverb my room and solve a lot of that problem. And now I don't got to use effects and I sound better. And I did that. And then I realized, while I'm recording it like at a lower quality level, and I could actually upgrade my equipment and record at a much higher quality level and then tune things in. And so now I'm learning little things. Like this morning, I learned that my voice sounds like shit at 500 hertz, 1,000 hertz, and 2,000 hertz. And so now I'm figuring out, okay, well, how do I reduce those, but boost 100 hertz, 250 hertz, 4 to 5,000, and 8,000, because that's where I sound the best. And so it's like, holy shit. Like I said, I was reading all Family Day a audio guide to podcasting to truly like really get into the weeds on this. And like I said to Colin this morning, like by the end of 2026, this show is going to sound as good as like NPR or things that are coming out of like billion-dollar networks, 100%. But you have to put in the effort. And the further I go down this path, the more I realize everything I don't know. And I'm 3 years into this and I still have so much left to learn. And I think we have to look at everything we do like that and recognize that no matter how good you get, no matter how long you've been doing something, there's something you don't know. There is something you don't know. Even if you're an expert today, tomorrow is a brand new day. And so I think we have to just be humble. I think at the end of the day, no matter what we're doing, come to it humbly. Don't proclaim you're the best of the best in the world at anything because somebody is going to prove you wrong. That's just the simple truth of it all, right? If we go to everything we do and recognize, you know what, I can get a little bit better. And even if it's just figuring out that your voice sounds like shit at 500 or 1,000 hertz, that's a great thing to know because then you can, in the future, reduce those numbers and make yourself sound a little better. And while I am by no means where I'm going to be, I'm a lot better than where I was. And I think we have to look at everything we do that way. It's not a race. You're never going to be the best or the perfectest forever. It doesn't matter what you do. Just aim to do a little better all the time. Aim to learn something new every day. Aim to improve by a little bit. And it's not the big leaps and bounds that make the most difference in your life. If there's one thing I've learned, it's simply the small things you do all the time that make the biggest difference.
I think it's if they call it the 1% rule, right?
Yeah.
Just 1% better every time, everything that you're doing. And it's the compound effect, right? It compounds like incredibly. But even in people say, wow, 1%. Well, that's like they say, if you save 1 penny the first day, 2 pennies the second day, 3 pennies,
Yeah.
you know, the compound effect of that over time, right, is incredible. And that works both ways though. If you stop doing something or you start letting, I'll just say, start letting yourself go, right, it's going to snowball the other way as well.
Yes. Yes. Well, that's like me and my workout regimen that I was talking about this morning. We set up a home gym in our basement. I'm super excited for it. But I haven't been doing my exercises and it's been bad. Let's just
it's been bad.
And so now I'm just working to get a little tiny workout regimen, but I'm going to do it 5 days a week, every weekday. And on the weekends I have kids, so like we're busy anyway. So the point is that I don't want to do a grueling 5-hour workout a day. I want to do like 45 minutes every day. And I think a little tiny change like that, actually, I don't think I know because I've done it before. A little tiny change like that has such a massive impact over, say, 6 months or a year. But it's not, once again, the big things. If I did the big things every day, I'd kill myself and I wouldn't want to do this. I would be like, I'm too exhausted. My muscles are dead. But if I do that little workout every day, it has a massive compounding effect on every aspect of my life, not just my physical health.
Well, it's everything, right? It's life isn't a sprint; it's a marathon. I know that's cliche, but it's true, right? We're in for the long haul, and what do we have to do? How do we nourish ourselves? You know, not food, like mentally, everything. Are we reading books? Like you know, I think I was telling Kelly, my wife said, I think Amazon's here last night at the house. She's like, what did you order? And I said, I don't know, actually.
That's the magic of Amazon. None of us know what's coming to our house. We're like, what is it? I don't know. It's like Christmas every day.
and it's like we forgot that 9 hours ago I hit buy and mysteriously. So
once again, shout out to Amazon because they've got us all buying shit. We don't even know what we're buying.
There it is. Branded, not blanded.
Ooh.
Right.
Ooh.
And you know what? It's funny because I think I was actually on some forum, right? And somebody had posted something and then a bunch of people just start attacking. That looks like crap. That's horrible. I would never do that. That's horrible branding. And then somebody said, you need the book Branded, Not Blanded, right? I don't have a van. I'm not even in that industry, but I'm ordering the book, right? And then I said to Kelly, my wife said, well, why did you get 2 books? And I'm like, in case it's good. If it's good, then I have to give one to somebody else.
If it's bad, we'll burn it.
If it's bad, we're gonna have a book burning. Yeah. So, but that goes down to not tooting my own horn, but sometimes I do. Toot toot. Right? is that's the ROI, right? I get out of it. I invest in the book. I get it. And that's the experience to learn something. And, you're helping yourself first, and then you can help others.
Yeah.
I think that all falls into ROI, right? And
Yeah.
where it comes from. And we're experts in our own domain, I guess. And that's kind of where I think we, like VJ, you were saying, is what are we chasing, right? Are we going after a bunch of different things? Are we, going down the right path? Or are we going down all paths, right? Because we can't.
Right.
And that's where I'm really trying this year more than ever, is to follow a path, right? Like, if I'm going to throw that dart, I'm going to throw it at the center. I'm not just going to throw a handful of them and see what sticks, because I don't think that's money well spent. I don't think that's time well spent. Like, maybe we should talk a minute about not money versus time, just time well spent, right? The ROI of our time, like every day, like VJ, in your business, you're on different time zones more than you're on the Mountain Standard Time. So
Slept at
that's
3 a.m. last night.
right. So that's
Yeah.
that's time well spent, though. And that's where your ROI comes from, right?
Yeah.
At 3 a.m., I'm looking at the back of my eyelids, right? Like, I'm not watching anything. But at 4:30, my day is starting, and I'm hitting the ground running, literally, right? And then I go, but that we all have a different return on investment of time, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
and that time, what is valuable in your time changes depending on what you're doing too, right? Like,
That's right.
for instance, at this stage of my life, in my 30s, I've got a lot going on. I'm building multiple podcasts. I'm building a community. I'm building a company. And I'm building a family, right? Like,
Yeah.
my time is very busy. I think there will be a time in my life where I'm a far less focused on business, and I'm far more focused on just enjoying my family, having a good time, doing podcasting because I love it. Like, I feel like there's just different stages and different values you have, and none are right or wrong. They're just right for you in whatever stage of life you're in.
That's right. I remember when I was young like you too, and that's how I felt.
Well, it's funny. Like, we were talking a little bit about personal branding this morning, me and Colin. And I was saying, like, well, like, the podcast has built like a pretty great brand for me over time, but I don't do podcasting to build a brand. I do podcasting because I love it. And building a brand is a cool side effect of doing so. And I think if you're going to build a personal brand, why wouldn't you want it to be that way? And the example I kind of gave was like Tony Hawk or like Shaun White, right? Like snowboarding, skateboarding. They didn't set out to become icons in skateboarding or snowboarding. They just happened to become the best at something they loved and built personal brands around it because of that. I think that's the way we need to be looking at personal branding, right? Find the thing you love doing every day. Like I was saying to Colin, I built, the BDP. We're 317 episodes this morning. I've never missed an episode. Every single episode of the BDP is a brand new show. I don't think there's a lot of podcasts that can say that have 100 episodes, let alone 300. And a big part of that is simply because I love doing it. I love doing the podcast. I love doing this. And because I love it, I'm getting quite good at it and I'm getting known for it. But it's like, if you're going to build a personal brand, just build it. Find something you love and do it the best you can. That's how you're going to do it.
One thing, like over the years, like I'm learning every day, and like I make mistakes, which is what I started acknowledging. Actually, I will not be perfect, and I don't think anyone is perfect.
Nobody
The
is.
moment I acknowledge
No.
that, okay, fine, you can make mistakes, and if you don't have the courage to make mistakes, I think that's going to be a regret down the line, which is what I'm understanding. So 5-6 years ago, I barely had any following, probably like 700 people following, or anything like that, or not even 1,000. And I think around 2019 or 2020, someone reached out and saying that I just started with the Zadwell and everything, and the one person reached out, we want to invest in companies and things like that. I didn't even have the courage to go and meet with that person. I never met with that person because we had nothing. And I was consulting for the company, and we had a number name company, literally nothing, and I was just like getting started. And I don't know who that person is. I have to go chase that message, but I didn't even speak to that person. But over a period of time, every single day, Colin and Kelly, like you have seen some of my journey, like some of what we are building. I would love to showcase what we're actually doing. You have 120 slides, all of it. I would love to show you guys.
Mhm.
But I think over a period of time, every single time, and someone reached out, I get at least like 50 people reach out to me, Colin, from India, from
Yep.
Eastern Europe, or like Poland or Russia, Indonesia, Philippines, all that. Like they constantly reach out. Okay, fine, we want to work with you. We want to work with you. You know what? Like, because like we are doing consulting, we started doing something called as a reverse consulting. Okay, fine. You want a presence in North America, in Canada, and you in the US. What? Okay, fine. We will consult with you. We'll work with you. So like that, we have built different channels across Zadbo in terms of like a trusted partnership thing that we created. Not about selling Zadro in terms of like ROI. I think everyone is looking for an ROI in a different way. So we want to be that vehicle. Similarly, like founders, they want to come have a conversation. Say we have conversation week after week here, right? So that's the
Yeah.
vehicle we want to be. I think when we are actually championing others is when you champion. This is what I'm learning.
Yeah.
So that's a long shot like journey I'm going through in terms of like learning how can we work for other success so that like we can also be successful along the way. The success is a byproduct. That's how I look at it. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
I think the problem that a lot of companies are facing is that they're building a lot of great things, but they're not selling a lot of great things, right?
Right.
And we find ourselves in that like building phase. I need to build it. I need to build it. I need to build it. But the reality is you just need to do the thing you're good at.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
Like VJ, you just need to make awesome software because that's what you're great at, right? AI
Mhm.
automated awesome software. The more you do and build and complete projects that are amazing AI based software, the better
Yeah.
you're going to do.
Yeah.
I was saying to Colin this morning, like, even though I do all of these things, Catalyst Club, the podcasts, 90% of my revenue still comes from my retainer contracts doing what I'm great at, business development. And I need to do more of that. And we were talking about that this morning where I'm just like,
Mhm.
I think I just need to do like 2 or 3 retainer contracts at a time
Yeah.
and then still be able to balance my other stuff. But like the reality is we need to just simply be doing more of the things that people pay us to do because we're great at it. I
Yeah.
think so many of us as entrepreneurs keep finding ourselves in this, well, I have to keep growing. I have to keep building this new thing, right?
Mhm.
And then we just forget that like there's this one thing that we got into this for that we're really great at that people are willing to pay us to do,
Yeah.
and it's the thing we end up doing the least of, right? And I think a lot of times you have to go back to basics. You have to bring it back in. What is the thing that you're great at, that you're known for, that people will pay you to do? And do that until you're able to build up the other things. I'm not saying that there won't be a day in my life that the podcast, the community, and my coaching is my full-time gig. And obviously, long term, that is probably where I want to go. That's where I can
Mhm.
actually have the greatest impact around the world. But as for today, doing business development, the thing that I'm known for, the thing that I've built an entire brand around, a company around, is still the thing that pays the bills. And I think sometimes we have to recenter back into, okay, we have these big dreams. There's nothing wrong with them. But what is the thing that is going to help you today?
Mhm.
Mm.
Well, I think the big thing is too, I'll just use a coaching platform. If I was to hire a coach, personal coach or a business coach or whatever it may be, I will probably ask the track record of the coach,
Yeah.
right? And if you were to say to me, I actually, I'm just going to give this a go. And then you spout out a bunch of things. I've coached billionaires. I've done this. I've done that. bet you haven't, because I'm quite a few rungs down on the
I
ladder,
heard that.
right?
Yeah.
But you see it all the time, right? And I'm like, maybe if you, I would have more appreciation or respect if they said, you know what, I'm really good at this. I understand business or whatever it may be. I'm great at counseling or whatever, but I still do this, right? I would have respect for that. I don't want to call it the grind, but for the hustle, right? That's a better term, for the hustle.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing it, as opposed to I've got so many clients and I'm just so busy and but I'm for $12 a month, I will take you on. No. Um,
I
you know,
have zero time, but seriously,
yeah,
all the
but I
time in the
will,
world for that
right?
12 bucks.
I'm going to give you this offer that I don't give anyone else other than everybody else in social media land. But I would rather you say it's $1,000 an hour, but your ROI on that $1,000 is going to be
Yeah.
amazing. Right. But I see, I don't want to, I'm not calling anyone out, but I see it every day. I don't want to be seen in that same light from somebody else. Right. I don't want to say, oh, he's all talk. He doesn't even know what he's doing. After all, I can't say that because I'm I'm building air duct trucks and different things like that, manufacturing.
And they're beautiful, Colin.
Well, they are.
Yeah,
Thanks.
they're really beautiful.
But it's like continue doing what we're good at. And actually, I like that you did say that, because we had somebody reach out that was with a competitor for years, and they reached out on the weekend, and it ended up coming to me. I had a great chat with the person, and the number one thing that struck a chord was, he said, I've watched you guys over the last few years and seen how many great improvements you've made, and this and this and this. I'd like to start doing business with you. That's what means the world. Do what you're good at, and hone in on it, and make it even better. Right. Like, we're never, like VJ, like you said, we're never finished. Right. We're never, you're never there. If that was the case, the New York Yankees would actually win a World Series. Right. Like they they have the largest salary cap and they just never win.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No. I was just all the time just getting excited. Sorry, guys. So I actually, when you mentioned like your trucks, they're actually really beautiful. I get glued to branding and the logo and the colors. Actually, when I saw Hypervac trucks,
branding not blanded.
Yeah, I love the branding, love the colors of the red and white that I've seen. I actually saw it, Colin, when you showed me. I told you right there, then and there. It's so it is actually beautiful. I don't think I've seen a greater beautiful hatchback truck like ever. I have some of the people who did duct cleaning at our home. Like, no, poor branding. They're just plastering something. Like, this is like beautiful. But I loved it. I wanted to. Sorry, go ahead.
Now I feel like we have to expand upon this, Colin. Now I think you actually need to have a duct cleaning company on top of the manufacturing company, and you're going to really take the market by storm.
Well, I'm not gonna...
And it can be black Hypervac trucks. They would be sick. It would win immediately.
I'll send you a picture of something after the call.
Okay. I want to go back to kind of just briefly what we were talking about earlier. I think one of the things that has made me quite successful with the BDP is that from the very beginning, I was new. Like, I wasn't new at business development, but I was new at entrepreneurship. And I was in the shit. And have been in the shit for the past 3 years. And I think because I've been able to speak to things that I do, that is something that's made the show very successful, because I was never talking out of my ass. I was always talking about things that were really going on for me and my clients in those moments, the challenges that were coming up, even a lot of the questions that were coming up from people. I'd actually experienced them. I'd experienced the exact same issue. And so when I did a show on it to help them, I wasn't just speaking from theory. And I think that's really important. If you're going to do a show on something, especially as an expert or a leader, make sure that you're speaking from your own experience. Make sure that you're speaking from like what's actually going on for you, because it's very obvious when you are not.
Can I give you I'll give you a quick example before we're done. So as a business, we had hired a coach, a business coach. How do we launch this company? Because we're taking it over. And this honestly happened. So a few sessions in, I think it was $3,500. I can't remember, for a couple sessions or whatever it is. And we had said, okay, we're going to do this. The guy's a guru, whatever. And so in one of the first sessions, I had told him about culture building. And I said, in a company I used to work for, we would carry a safety coin. And that safety coin you put in your pocket. And every time you catch somebody doing something right, you would pull it out and say, hey, I'm giving you this safety coin. Right. And we were a public company and had a lot going on. So, so like 7 sessions, right? Like $25,000 in, we meet with them and we're in this big boardroom and he's coaching us. And he says, this one time I was coaching this company and we came up with this idea of the safety coin. And I was like, are you that dumb? Like that's actually my story. And and he tells the story in first person. Like he coined the coin. He coined the coin. And no joke, that was our last session. We fired him. And I never did say, hey dude, this is why.
Yeah.
But I thought, like, be real.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even know your audience. Like, and it didn't matter what did matter how much we were paying him, because I thought the more you pay, the better you get. But we drove home and everybody in that room knew what had happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, you lost all. That was like saying, I've coached billionaires. Name one.
Yeah.
Name one.
He's like, I can't. He had an island.
And I was a guest. Like, honestly, right? Like, what would bring somebody to, and I want to be very cautious that I never do that, right? Like that would be like me meeting somebody, for whatever, and they're like, oh, so what are you up to? Well, I host the BDP every Wednesday, and blah, 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 blah. Actually, isn't that Kelly Kennedy? Oh yeah, that's Kelly, but I know him. I have a podcast called Pathfinders. Maybe you've heard it. No, like be you. Like I could say I don't have a podcast called The Blue Sky Method.
Not yet.
but I will. At least that's telling the truth. So, anyway.
Hey, Colin, I have one word for you, buddy.
Oh no. I did.
When are you when is that? When is that?
I will.
I will.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's you have to do things from a place of authenticity, guys. That's why we have a show called Authentic Hustle.
Yes.
We're all in the shit. We're all three of us are actively building companies, actively making a difference, and really living the shit every day.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, right? Like it just comes down to speak to things you know, and you probably know a lot, and you probably have a lot of lessons to give. There's no need to make shit up. There's no need to embellish. Many of you are experts, and especially to my coaches out there, don't speak to shit you don't understand. Don't
ever bring up the safety coin. Do not bring up the safety coin.
I love Catalyst Club because I'm always surrounded by people who know more than I do, and I'm not afraid to say I didn't know that or I don't have the answer, but do you? You're far better off to do that and at least hold your credibility, and at least then you'll learn something, right? It all comes down to you don't have to know everything. I'm always learning. I've been podcasting for years. I still have a ton to learn about podcasting, and I probably always will. And so if that's the approach you come to life with, you're going to do great.
Yeah. I think my last comment will be, in addition to that, is you also don't need to one up the last person speaking, right? Your story doesn't have to be better, or you don't even maybe have to say it, right? Let them finish with this is what I was doing or my experience or whatever it may be. Let that be. Let it be, right? Let them. There I am.
Oh,
again.
Colin, I have a better story.
Right? And and your credibility just plummets when you do that, right? So anyway, that was my last comment for Authentic Hustle today. And
that's a good way to end it.
BJ, you opened it. You close it.
No, I didn't. I just thought about it. Like the last 2 minutes I was speaking, you guys were speaking. I think every time I'm in business and life, I can get really hard. And I've seen it like day in and day out. It can get really, really hard if you're building it, because you have to have the courage. And there are many days and nights where it will not be as optimistic, but at the same time, you have to keep the momentum going. Every single thing, whatever we were able to do, it's like you have to have the drive, the motivation, everything. One thing I'll promise anyone, I heard this Steve Jobs say it, Colin Kelly, they in the what is that speech, in the Stanford speech? It is a very beautiful speech. I recommend anyone go watch it. He said you cannot connect the dots looking forward, actually, but I promise that I'm able to connect the dots looking backwards. Look at what Kelly, what you have done in the last 5 years with BDP and Catalyst Club and I used to work there, which is a new show, and so many amazing things you're building yourself, Colin, with Hypervac and Hyperfab, and I did. And so so I think we are only able to connect the dots looking backwards, which is very true. And anyone in the trenches, in the if you're hustling, keep going. I think you will be able to connect the dots looking backward. That's what I wanted to share.
Good point.
Love it.
All right. Well, thanks, hustlers. We're over time here, but that's okay because I know you love us.
Sorry.
You'll give us grace.
That's okay. It was good ROI for you, I'm sure. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. And this was number 54. We're looking forward to seeing you next Wednesday, number 50.